Hi everyone, this is Allison from RunSignup and GiveSignup. We're going to go ahead and get started in 1 minute. If you could just type into the questions on your GoToWebinar module on the side of your screen and let me know if you can see my screen and if you can hear me, that would be great. Yes, everyone can hear. Okay, so today on this webinar, we're going to be talking about how your nonprofit can raise money and save money during this difficult time of COVID-19 with virtual events that have donations and fundraising. And on this webinar with me is Brian Jenkins, who is our head of sales for RunSignup. Brian, you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
So on the agenda today, we have the first topic, which is why should my nonprofit do a free virtual event? And Brian's going to talk through kind of the benefits for your nonprofit, your organization, of putting on a virtual event during this time. And then we're going to walk you through a really detailed setup and a live screen share demo of how you can create your virtual event on GiveSignup or RunSignup. And we're going to go through the setup. We're going to go through a lot of details on how you can build your website. We're going to talk through the details of swag and whether or not you want to offer swag for your virtual event. And then we're going to talk about results and different ways that you can engage your supporters through a virtual event. And to finish up, we're going to do questions and answers. So if you come up with questions during this webinar, feel free to enter them in the module. I'm going to wait until the end to go through them, but Brian and I will answer your questions at the end of this. So to go ahead and get started, I'm going to turn it over to Brian to talk through why you should consider doing a free virtual event.
Thanks, Allison. So part of my day-to-day job is just having conversations with our customers and sometimes be a shoulder to cry on because all of us have made a lot of plans on gathering participants and supporters together to get together and have a good time and raise money for good causes. And a lot of that is being thrown out the window. I'm personally on the board of CASA in Henrico County in Richmond, Virginia, and right now all of our events are kind of on hold. And so through this process of the conversations, I've learned a little bit and want to share that with you guys on why doing a free virtual event might make more sense. So there's a lot of hesitation, in conversations about asking people for money, and that's for good reason. There's a lot of people losing their jobs or income instability and different things like that make it difficult to, feel confident at asking someone else for money when it's a great cause, but just might make you a little uncomfortable. So the first thing is the free event just kind of removes that barrier. The second thing is that you have a community of people that they enjoy being around each other, and this is something that by digitally they can be together, and it makes it pretty easy for people to get involved. Also, if people feel compelled during the process of registering for the event, they can be asked if they'd like to make a donation or be incentivized. If you still have any sponsors that might want to participate, or I've got some other ideas on how you could potentially incentivize people to make donations or potentially become fundraisers. The other thing is overhead. So when you put on a free event, hopefully the cost of the event is zero to at least get started. There may be some incremental costs for some incentives and things like that. And we here at RunSignup and GiveSignup are trying to provide as many tools as possible to save money and make money. So that's providing free websites, Facebook fundraising, free emails, and free results, et cetera. And the last thing, and this is looking forward, is that we're going to show you an example of an organization that has successfully grown a free event to really grow their donor pipeline. So they've got quite a number of new people that they've never communicated with, and it's because they put on a free virtual event and it went viral. So Allison, do you want to continue the discussion on what types of events are happening?
Sure. So on our platform, we're seeing a lot of different types of virtual events. So of course we are seeing a lot of races, runs, walks, and rides. Right now, this is kind of the go-to activity for people to do during the day because we're all under stay-at-home orders. And it's just really nice to get outside, go for a run or a walk, once a day. But that's not the only thing that people are setting up. We've seen duathlons, combination of running and biking challenges. We've seen really creative scavenger hunts where you have to find certain items through our free email marketing system. The event will let their participants know what the item of the day is, and then those participants will share pictures of the scavenger hunt item of the day on a Facebook group. We've also seen a lot of creative fitness challenges. Semper Fi Fund put on a great 19 days of quarantine fitness challenge and really did a great job of engaging people on a Facebook group and collecting donations through RunSignup and GiveSignup. We've also seen distance challenges. So one of the very popular events that opened on our platform this week that Brian will talk more about is a 1,000-kilometer race across Tennessee that's going to be done in 4 months. So participants are averaging about 5 miles a day to get across the state. We're also seeing a lot of creative training programs. So people putting their knowledge together about the sport of running or cycling and offering training programs when you sign up for something. And we've also seen some multi-week track seasons set up for high schoolers, for college athletes, trying to provide a way to engage those athletes and let them submit times for different track events throughout this quarantine. So the example that we wanted to talk about of a formerly paid event converting to a free virtual event is the Flippin 5K. So I'm going to turn it over to Brian, and he's going to talk through some of the key things that this example race did to have great success as a free virtual event.
Yeah, the success of this event is truly astonishing. I have been a part of a few things that have really exploded, and this is one of the ones that really just came from out of left field. So in last year they did a live 5K, and they had roughly $25 registration fee, 310 signups, and 250 people posted or finished the race. And so this year they went virtual, completely free event, nearly 6,500 signups and 1,600 results posted, and they raised more money in donations than registrations and donations together in 2020. And the reason for that is, in some of this is good and bad, is that as all of us know now, the Olympics are postponed to 2021, and some of the gymnastics, the USA gymnastics team members actually got involved in the Flippin 5K and posted on Instagram them doing a flip and participating in the event. So the net of this Flippin 5K example is they grew their donor pipeline by 432 donors. They acquired 6,000 new email contacts, and their Instagram post of hashtag Flippin 5K had 800 public posts. And this is just a great way to interact with your community and potential new community. And we were really just blown away by this example. And, this is what we're so excited to share with you guys is that, we think this is scalable for other people because I think the only thing that's limiting you on this is creativity. Obviously doing a backflip is an extreme athletic talent, but there's lots of other neat things that people can do. So when we're looking at the approach, one of the things that is difficult when we're having this discussions with nonprofits, and we all kind of know this, is that we really need to reset our expectations for donations and fundraising levels. We don't have data that says, blank percent is a reasonable percentage. Right now, I believe a lot of our events that are for-profit events have nonprofit partners that are food banks. But as we all know, there's many people that are on this call that are not food banks, and they're all very worthy causes that aren't necessarily getting a ton of support. And so we're trying to find ways to have creativity during these extremely difficult times for nonprofits. And so one of the suggestions that we would offer is, if you're looking at events that are later in 2020, is commit to the event to be virtual and promote it as virtual, and say, if it is safe and we are able, we will go live. This is a fundamental mind shift. So instead of planning to go live and either cancel or we'll go virtual, which is tends to disappoint people, if you promote it as virtual, you do everything you can to make sure that if it is virtual, it's the best experience that it possibly can be. And if it turns out that it is safe and you are able to go live, it's like a double bonus then. You also have to be understanding that some people aren't going to be prepared to maybe participate in your event, and because they're not comfortable being in large groups at that time. So that still gives them the opportunity to participate and get the swag and be digitally involved in the event. Make sure that your messaging is focused on the now. So at CASA, this is something that I'm going through the kind of branding process right now. We are trying to help people understand that the children that CASA serve, many of them are in our program due to teachers letting us know about issues at home. And unfortunately, those kids and teachers aren't interacting. That doesn't mean that those situations aren't happening. It just means that we're not being identified to that. So every single one of your organizations is being impacted by COVID right now. Finally, find ways to keep things simple and easy. Again, making a free event is relatively simple, and don't overcomplicate things if you can avoid it. And this allows you to engage participants and thank your donors and fundraisers for all the support they've given you.
Okay, so I'm going to talk through how you can actually create your virtual event on GiveSignup or RunSignup. So you can go to either givesignup.org or runsignup.com and click create a run, walk, ride, or click create race. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a race or a run or a walk or a ride that you're going to set up. You can set up a scavenger hunt, you can set up a festival, it doesn't really matter, but these are the paths that you're going to go down. If you want to use a givesignup.org URL, you can still use your same RunSignup login to start free on GiveSignup. So when you click create a race or create a run, walk, ride, it's going to take you into something called the Race Wizard. And we're going to go through this in a live demo in a minute. But just wanted to highlight a few key things. So the first is on the very first step, you're asked to put the location information for your event. Virtual events don't have a physical location. So this screenshot is just showing you sample location information that you can include. You are going to have to pick a state, but for the rest of the content, like the address and the city, you can put anywhere you like, any city, any state. You can get creative with that language. The other thing is that when you're setting up your events, you're going to want to select virtual race when you get to type of event. That's going to let you do some cool things like set up virtual race results, which we'll cover later on in this presentation. The other thing I wanted to point out is that you'll see my start time and end time are quite far apart. So a lot of these virtual races are giving their participants a pretty generous time frame to complete the event. It doesn't have to be like, a Saturday at 9 a.m. Everyone has to do it then. You can actually stretch it out, give people 2 weeks to complete the challenge. Make it easy, keep it simple. Once you finish going through the Race Wizard, which is just really setting up the skeleton of your event, you're going to be taken to your race dashboard. And this is where you're going to be able to add all the fancy customizations. You're going to be able to enable fundraising and Facebook fundraising from here. So this is kind of an overwhelming slide, but these are the basic checklist items that you're going to want to do when you set up your virtual race. And so what we're going to do now is I'm going to do a demo, and Brian's going to help me out by kind of reminding me of where to go next on this checklist. But we're going to start at the beginning. So the beginning is go to givesignup.org or go to runsignup.com. you can click Get Started Free on Give Sign Up and click Create a Run, Walk, or Ride, and takes you into the race wizard. On runsignup.com, you can click Create a Race, and that's going to take you into the same exact race wizard. So going into my sample, we are going to be doing a virtual dog jog today. Pretty proud of my creativity with this, this one. So you'll see here, I've already filled in my location information with the anywhere you'd like, any city, any state. Entered my email for contact information, and I've set up my events. So I have a virtual 5K. I'm also offering a virtual 1-mile dog jog, and I'm offering a virtual cat nap for those who do not want to run or walk, but still want to support me. So this is just the first step of the event, and I can save and continue. And we're just going to hop ahead to registration. So for my registration periods, I've opened it up for today, and I've set my event fee to $0 because we're going to talk through how you would do this for a free virtual event. So $0 for each of these. So after
and Allison, some of the things that one of the things you can do, Allison, is in the steps of the wizard, you could turn down or turn off some of the items that you want to collect in terms of data collection. So if you didn't want to collect gender or date of birth or things like that, you could turn down some of those options if you didn't want to collect those. Since it's being a free event and things like that, you may not need those additional things.
Yeah. So we can uncheck those things, and then the only thing we'll be asking for besides name and email is going to be the phone number. So we can save that. And then once you finish the wizard, this is your dashboard. So on my checklist, what is the first thing I want to go in and customize, Brian?
We want to customize the race location.
Okay, so there are a million different things you can do from the race dashboard. We make it really easy to find what you're looking for with this menu search. So since I'm looking for a location, I'm going to go here to race location. And I'm going to go in and add a custom location description. So your town, anytime. And I'm going to not show directions on the race page, and I'm going to hide the place section. So I'm going to save those settings. And that just lets you customize it so that you don't have any maps showing and you have that virtual language showing everywhere for your event. Okay, what's next on our checklist?
We want to customize our donation.
Okay, so we've already enabled donations when we went through the race wizard, but it's really nice to kind of customize how that looks. So you can go to donation setup and kind of just go through these tabs that are here. The first one is general settings, and this is where you're going to set your donation goal. And one of the things I wanted to point out is make this donation goal achievable. Don't put it at $1 million because you may not get there. Keep it small. When your campaign gets going, if you're getting a lot of donations and you're getting closer to this goal, bump it up. It's really simple to go in and edit this to increase it at any point in time. But putting something that's achievable is a nice feeling for you and your donors to see. Here is where you can add your description about your nonprofit and what the donations are going towards. Again, this is an area where you can really emphasize that tie between your mission and how you're being affected by COVID-19. So use this area to do that. If you want to show your nonprofit's logo on the donation page instead of your race's logo, you can add a custom logo here. The other thing that's really nice to add are donation levels. These are just suggested donation amounts that make it easy for somebody to click. People can also enter their own custom donation amount, but just giving people a nice starting place is good. So you'll want to add a variety of different levels. So make sure you include some low amounts so that, maybe I just like people who lost their job or something, don't have a lot to donate right now. But at the same time, you want to ask for large amounts. So enter a variety of these donation levels. And then next to them, if you want to, you can add creative names for these levels. You can say what the amount of money will cover. So for example, if your nonprofit is a food bank, specify what this $5 will cover for your beneficiaries. Maybe it's 2 hot meals. And then you're going to just click save, and it will bring you back here. The other page I wanted to highlight is the donation page customizations, because there's 2 important things. One is the donation page heading. So by default, your race's name shows on the donation page, but it's kind of nice to show your nonprofit name instead. So I'm going to name this after my nonprofit, which is the Precious Paws Shelter. And then the other thing that I think is really important to add is put in an address where people can mail a check if they want to make an offline donation, so that they have that information there. You can also add multiple on behalf of options. So you can also let people make a donation, in memory of somebody. And you can add as many of those options as you would like to show. So again, take your time to go through these different tabs and really set up and customize what your donations will look like. Okay, so what's next?
The next thing is that we want to set up fundraising.
Okay, so fundraising, first you're going to turn on individual fundraisers. I've gone ahead and done that. So one of the things that we like for these free virtual events is making fundraising optional. Put a default fundraising message here that automatically shows in your fundraisers pages. We're suggesting that you don't require fundraising for any of your events. Let people opt into it. Don't pressure them to do it. Similarly, don't set any fundraising minimums. Just suggest a default goal if you want to, but keep it low, keep it achievable. Just keep it pretty simple. So that's just the simple way to enable your individual fundraisers. One of the nice things that you can do is you can actually come in here and add some fun milestones. So just to kind of keep with my theme of the dog jog, I added milestones for $100 and $500, and then I uploaded custom badges, which will show on the fundraisers pages when they hit those milestones. So it's just kind of a fun way to add a little bit of celebration to your fundraising. And then you can also allow team fundraisers. Similarly, you can come in here and you can add a team fundraising message here and make this optional again. I'm not going to even put a default team goal, just keep it really simple. And you can go through each of these tabs. We have really detailed documentation on how you can set up your individual and team fundraisers, which we will share after the webinar. Okay, so what is next?
So the next thing is we want to enable Facebook fundraising.
Okay, Facebook fundraising is the best tool ever because it's free money for your nonprofit. So you're going to want to come into Facebook fundraisers, click setup, and on your end, you're going to see one field, which is for your Facebook page ID. You're just going to enter the URL for your nonprofit's Facebook page. And you're going to need to be approved for Facebook payments before you can use this integration. We've gone through this many times before, but we have a lot of detailed documentation on the requirements to enable Facebook payments. And you can learn more about the integration by clicking here. But the things to stress are this makes it easy for your fundraisers to reach donors, and it makes it easy for your nonprofit to save money because donations on Facebook are free. They do not charge a processing fee. So if somebody donates $100 on Facebook, your nonprofit gets that full $100. And the nice thing about the integration is that $100 that was donated on Facebook will automatically show on your fundraisers page on RunSignup or GiveSignup. So that integration is really key for raising more, saving money. So what is next?
The next one is adding custom questions to confirm people understand that it is a virtual race or virtual event.
Yeah, you want to make sure that people fully understand what a virtual event is. So we suggest adding a custom question to your registration path. Set it up as a checkbox, and the question is just a statement, and it's saying that I understand this is a virtual race. They're not going to show up somewhere expecting to run a race. And the only response is, yes, I understand. And you're going to want to make sure that you require that response for each person who signs up. Next.
the last thing is just customizing your confirmation email.
Yeah, so this is an important one, especially with having a virtual event. So you can come into here, which is notifications, general settings, and that's going to pop up if you type in confirmation email to the menu search. The notification that you want to customize is user registered. So I click onto here, and up here I can add in my own content for the confirmation email. And so what I took time to do was to add the steps that my participants can take after they've signed up for this virtual run. And it just clarifies this is a virtual run. It gives me another place to promote, my social media hashtag that I want people to be posting with. And then this just makes it very clear, very easy for your participants to understand what the next steps are. Okay, so I think that's the checklist for the basic setup. So I'm going to head back to my slides and I'm going to present. And we're going to talk about websites. So Brian's going to talk about why you should have a website for your free event.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that RunSignup internally has been doing, and many of you may have seen, is using our own website capabilities. And many of us are learning more and more about our capabilities. So if you saw our coronavirus page, or the page we just came out with called Go Virtual, so it was runsignup.com/coronavirus or runsignup.com/go virtual. These are all pages designed internally by someone that is not a website designer. And so that's a very powerful statement. So what we're trying to provide to you guys is the ability, without having to contact IT or a website company, to go in and build a beautiful website. We will host it for you. If you want your own branding, you also can even purchase a domain or take an existing domain and map that to RunSignup, so we're your website with the same domain that you would expect. The best part about the capabilities that we have is you don't need any special training. We can support you here at RunSignup with questions. It's very, very easy to update and make changes. We also are building more and more data-driven components, and a great example of a data-driven component is like a race or event countdown clock and a donation leaderboard or fundraising leaderboard. So both of these are data-driven components that are built right into our sites. And the final thing that's really interesting that we came out with just a couple months ago is when someone visits your site and they go to leave, or if they hang on the site for 30 seconds and they're not sure whether they're going to proceed or whether they're interested or not, we actually can generate a pop-up to capture a lead, and then you can try to follow up with that person to hopefully convert them into becoming a donor or participating in your event. And Allison's going to walk us through some of the great options that we have within our theme and templates.
Thanks, Brian. Okay, so before we do the demo, I just wanted to highlight a few things. One is the ability to add a theme color. You can use your nonprofit's color scheme for your RunSignup or GiveSignup website. And if you don't have branding guidelines with a color scheme at this point for your organization, you can just Google theme colors to come up with a color palette. So on RunSignup, you can choose 4 different theme colors for your website. You're going to be able to incorporate other colors in your design, but these are the 4 main ones that are going to make sure that your website looks nice. So I Googled, a theme color, and I came up with this, and it showed me 4 colors that look nice together. And it showed me these little codes at the bottom. It's a 6-character string of numbers and letters, and those are associated with that specific color. So when you find a color scheme that you like, look for this code, and that's what you're going to be able to enter into RunSignup to create your custom color scheme. So it's going to go in, you're going to click these boxes, you're going to add the hex color code that you found from the theme that you like, and you're going to be able to save a custom color scheme. We also have a couple of default ones that look really nice. So if you're stuck, don't have that creativity with you at the moment, just go ahead and choose one of the ones that is already there. The other thing that I'm obsessed with is canva.com. I talk about it a lot because I have, unlike Brian, I'm not an artist and I just generally have bad taste when it comes to design. But canva.com makes it pretty easy to make nice looking graphics and images. So it's a free site. You don't have to pay for an account, although if you want to upgrade, there are options to upgrade your account. But basically, the nice thing is that you can create designs and you can specify the different dimensions. And so on RunSignup and GiveSignup, when you're enabling a cover page, which is going to be this very beautifully designed layer page on top of your website, these are the two different sizes of images that you're commonly going to use. Canva is also really nice. It's where I put together those fundraiser badges that we showed earlier. You can also use it for social sharing images. If you're paying for Facebook ads, they actually have templated Facebook ads that you can use. So I'm a big fan. It's really nice. And this is our website customization checklist that we're going to quickly walk through. I'm going to go back to our dashboard and we're going to customize what this looks like. So the first thing that we're going to start with is the race page, race theme. And so this is where you're going to be able to add that color scheme. So you'll see here I have my custom color scheme and I can click these colors and update that code to come up with the colors I'm going to be using on my virtual event website. And you can come up with a scheme name for it. And just above here, you'll see some default ones that you can choose from. The other thing that you can do is you can upload your own logo. So take your nonprofit's logo, upload it here. The other thing that you can do is you can customize the buttons on your website. By default, it's sign up for the registration path and donate for the donation path, but you could come in here and say register instead of sign up. Okay, so what is the next thing that I want to customize on my website, Brian?
The next one is the design cover page.
Okay, so cover page is a new feature that we've added, and it's a point-and-click template builder. And you can add different images, different components to it. You can add video, and it's a really nice layer to your website. So I've already gone ahead and added a bit of content to my website, and I will show you what that looks like. So I've added a header image. When I scroll down the page, you'll see I have that sticky register and donate button. I have my event options, which are displayed here. I included some content that explained what a virtual event is and what directions people should follow to sign up, post their results. And then just added some additional fun content to my page, including a countdown clock and a video. The video is really nice. It pops out and will play directly from your website, so it's not redirecting you. It's a really clean way of doing things. One of the nice things you could do is you could record a video about your nonprofit, and it can just be a person talking about, you know, how you're being impacted. Upload that video to YouTube and then add it to your page, and it's a really personalized touch. So it's super easy to update the website. You can come in here and you can edit the content at any time. And it's also easy to add additional content. So one of the things that we want to add is a leaderboard for our fundraisers. So I'm going to add the top fundraisers, and then that's going to show my top fundraisers. So I'm going to name this content fundraisers, and I want to choose a different color background. Let's make it blue, and we can save that. And now on my website, I'm going to be able to see my top fundraisers, and nobody's been a fundraiser yet, but they will be. And the nice thing I can do is if I want to bump this up the page, drag and drop it, and it automatically saves, and it shows above here now. The other thing I wanted to point out is just when you're using Canva, this is canva.com, you can click create a design, and you can easily add additional images to your page. So if I want to add another image of a dog, I can come into here. I can search for dog walking, and I can pick one of these existing images that's here. I can drag it out so that it fits my screen. I can download the image. And then here, I can add an additional image by dragging that here. I can kind of zoom in, I can zoom out, I can upload that here. I can add a nice overlay to the picture so it'll be pink on top. I'm going to add an option to donate, and this is going to take me right to my donation option. I'm going to make that button blue. You can kind of see what this is all going to look like. And I'm going to name this section Donate Dog, save it, and I have more content added to my site. So I just really wanted to demonstrate that because it really is simple to do. It's really easy to create a nice looking website in minutes. Okay, what is next?
The next one is adding a custom domain.
So if you have your own domain, I'm not going to go through this, but you can add your own domain. When you add a domain, it can be a domain or it can be a subdomain. We do support .org addresses. And once you click the blue button after adding it, it's going to take you through the verification steps. So you're going to need to verify that you are in fact the owner of that domain so that we can support it on your race website. An example of mapping a domain to a RunSignup site is the Scott Coffee Run. This is my hometown run that we converted to a virtual race this year. And you'll see it's the same exact thing as RunSignup, but it has the scottcoffeerun.com URL. Next.
The next, which you kind of covered a little bit, is adding custom content.
Yeah, so in addition to adding the cover page, you can add more content to your website by adding custom sections. So for example, it could be about our virtual race, and you can add content about the virtual run here. You can provide more instructions, whatever you want for your participants to see. And then the nice thing that you can do with this is you can choose how it displays. So I go into custom content display, and I actually want to display that as a new menu item on my website. So I'm going to save that setting, and then I'm going to refresh, and it should appear here. Here. And now we have another menu item, and you'll see that additional content. So like Brian was saying, it's really important that you have a website, and it's also important that you can actually update it quickly. And as you can see, it doesn't require any sort of web design skills. You just type in information and it will appear. And next.
The last one is adding the email capture capability on.
Okay, so for an email capture capability, this is just going to give you a pop-up to collect more email addresses. The first thing you need to do is create a list for it to go to. So I'm going to call it the email capture list. And that's where my emails that I capture are going to live. So next, I'm going to go to email capture, and I'm going to enable the pop-up form. And it gives me some default language. I can go in and customize this. Every single thing is customizable. So instead of get more information, I can write learn more. I'm going to go into my email capture list, and then I can customize how I want this to show. So I can do a slide in, and I can do it when somebody's on my page for more than 30 seconds. And then that's going to give me a pop-up that appears here once I've been on the page for more than 30 seconds, which I don't really want to wait for right now. So I'm actually going to do this instead. Before page abandonment. So this is when I want to go and exit my page and click up at the browser. Why is it not working? There we go. I don't know why it didn't work the first time, but this is the email pop-up. And this is a great way for you to generate even more leads than just your participants. So I can just go in, enter my information and click learn more. And my email goes into that list. And then you'll be able to email those people. You can also export that email list into the whatever email system you're using. So it's a great way to get more contacts. Okay, oops. I'm going to go back to my slides and we're going to talk about swag. And I'm going to hand it over to Brian to talk through different swag options that virtual events have.
So the event we talked about in the beginning, the Flipping 5K, they had no swag. So that makes it really easy for you, and it's completely free for the participants. There are some really interesting ways to do virtual swag, and that's something we're going to talk a little bit later on in the presentation. So the other option is it's a free event, so you can register for free, and then there's kind of different options where you are allowing someone, if they hit a fundraising or donation threshold, they will receive swag. And so you may need to charge fees for the swag and the shipping. And then you also need to make sure that you have a partner for fulfillment that can handle, ideally for a nonprofit, it would be someone that you contact and send a list, and they would actually mail all of the goods out to the people that hit the fundraising goals or different options that you've configured. And then the last one is, during registration, there's a cost to the event, or I've seen some events where when you're registering, they're offering some sort of option like a t-shirt, but there could be other things such as a t-shirt and a cloth mask, or bandanas, or different options that you might think people would be interested in. And again, you need to be careful because the items might be very low cost, but shipping can get expensive sometimes, so making sure that you have a strong fulfillment partner. Many of you guys may already work with a timing company or an event management company that may be able to help you, with that. So that's definitely something you want to factor into the process.
Thanks. And I think the only thing to add is fulfillment and shipping can be really complex. So you want to make sure you have a plan in place before you start promoting it. And to find more information about fulfillment and shipping, including the pricing options, different weights, and the different costs associated with them, you can go to runsignup.com/go-virtual. That's our hub for virtual race information. It can show you the hub at the end of this presentation and show you where to go, but there's a tremendous amount of information you can find there about shipping and fulfillment. So there's lots of different ways that we can handle adding swag to a virtual event. So if you kind of want to add it as an option for people to purchase when they sign up, or just sell it in a standalone store, you can do this by setting up a store item. This isn't necessary if you have one item with no options. So for example, if you're giving everyone who participates a medal, you don't need to set up a store item. This is for where a choice is necessary. So I want a small t-shirt that's pink. The second thing that you're going to do, even if you are just mailing a medal, is you want to set up shipping address validation. This is a key way to save money if you are going to do swag, because it makes sure that everyone enters the correct shipping address, which may not be where they live, may not be their credit card address. So you want to make sure you're asking for the shipping address. RunSignup and GiveSignup have an integration with USPS to validate all the shipping addresses. So if somebody enters something that isn't valid, they'll be prompted to update it to the corrected address. The third option is if you want to give away swag to every single person who signs up, you can set it up as a giveaway item, like if you're giving away a t-shirt to every single participant. If you're doing this option, you'll still want to set up shipping address validation. The other thing we recommend doing if you're offering swag to every single person is to customize the event display options to show off the swag that you're offering. So this is an example of a virtual, I think it's like a bachelorette 5K. And they have, a medal and a shirt choice that comes with the registration, and they highlight that with an image and a bullet list of everything that's included in that registration fee. So I'm not going to go too much into this because my example is really a simple, you know, just free event, no swag. But if you want to, you can set up a store item by going to store, and you can add in, a t-shirt and add a description, add the cost to it. You have a lot of different options with how you can customize this. Again, we have very specific guides that walk you through how you can set this all up. The important thing to note is you can add a shipping fee to the item. So if you are charging for shipping, make sure you figure out what that fee should be ahead of time, and then you can enter that in for each item that's purchased. The other thing we talked about was shipping address validation. So when you set up either store items or a giveaway item, which is event, you're always going to want to make sure that you ask for shipping address. Scroll down to the bottom and go to advanced settings. This will turn on that integration to make sure that the validation and suggested standardization of shipping addresses is done correctly. And then this will allow you to offer international shipping. So you can limit it to just the United States, but if you want to allow for international shipping, you can also check that box. So that is the shipping setup, and then just quickly show event display options. So this is where you can add an event highlight, and this is where you will add the bullet point for the different things that are included with that registration. And here's the event image, and that's where you can upload an image showcasing the swag. I actually used an event highlight for the catnap option for cat lovers, and you can see that down here on my website. It just highlights that event tile on the cover page and also in the registration path. Okay, so the last part of our presentation is going to be results and engaging your participants. So I'm going to turn this over to Brian to talk about the different options that you have for results for your event.
Yeah, so there's, depending on the style that you decide to pursue, some events, we're using examples of like 100 push-ups or a 10,000 steps challenge or something like that. Those might be best to be handled via a Facebook or Instagram hashtag situation. When you start getting into an actual distance, and one of the things we didn't mention about virtual races is that you can offer different distances. So a live event is kind of limited by your course. You've got to do a 5K or an 8K, whatever the course you kind of designed. But a virtual race, you could offer a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon, and allow people to kind of choose what distance they want to pursue. Once a participant chooses the distance they want to pursue, during the registration process, they're going to be asked if they would like to sign up via text message or email to submit their results. If they choose neither, there's still going to be options for them to submit their results. So the beauty of the text and the email is that we will actually proactively reach out to the participant, send them a link. They'll fill in their bib number and their time, and we can do a little bit of time validation and basically to prevent errors, hopefully, where the participant can submit their time. And that goes automatically into RunSignup, and it's put onto the website in real time. You also can then send an email out through our system to then say, hey, anyone who didn't receive a text or an email to submit their results, click on the link below, which takes you to the results page, to then again look yourself up and submit your results. So we're trying as best we can to make it so that your nonprofit races are not having to go and build a Google spreadsheet and collect people's times and things like that. It looks super professional using this way. And then the final one is something more like a month-long or 2-month-long challenge to keep people motivated. And so there's options like Strava clubs. There's also a great option by a company called Final Surge. And so the beauty of Final Surge is that when you're doing these tracking challenges, your participants are used to using apps like Map My Run or Strava to record their daily run or walk. Also, Garmin is very popular. And so they can then submit that via Final Surge. And Final Surge is offering a discount for nonprofits to be able to put together a very nice page with integrations with the app that your runners are using. And you can contact Tim at finalsurge.com. If you have a lot of athletes, he's offering volume pricing, and he wants to do whatever he can to try to support your efforts.
Okay, so with virtual results, like Brian was saying, we make it really, really easy for participants to submit results, just in the whole theme of keep it simple, keep it easy. So participants can submit results via text message or email if they opt into those notifications, and you can customize what those look like when they get sent. People can also just go right to your website, which we're going to demo in a minute, to submit their own results. Like Brian said, you can have some validation, so you don't have people submitting a 2-minute mile time. And the other thing that's really nice, especially for nonprofits, is you don't have to submit a time. We have an option to just say, I completed the event, and you don't have to actually time yourself. And that makes it really appealing and usable by everyone. So this just shows you in the dashboard what it's going to look like to request enhanced virtual features. And then on the front end, this is what it's going to look like for users. When they go to the results page, they're going to click Submit Virtual Results. And when they click Submit Virtual Results and find the registration, they are going to be able to enter their time for the event. And you'll see here is the option that I clicked, which is I finished but did not time my run. The other thing we have are virtual bibs and finisher certificates. So you can customize a pre-race bib that all of your participants can view, and they can also print it out and wear it for their run. A fun way to encourage social media posts could be, encouraging people to print it out and wear it for their run and take a selfie and post that to Facebook and Instagram. You can drag and drop different parts that are data driven. So you'll see here it says participant's name, and that will be customized with the participant's name. I also uploaded this, not the most beautiful design for a bib, but you can use one of the preset templates that are just really basic, or you can go crazy like I did on this one and bring your own design. I'm going to hand it over to Brian to talk about RaceJoy.
So RaceJoy is an app that RunSignup owns, and we work with our certified timers. We have nearly 500 certified timers across the United States that can help you with delivering this. So this adds more credibility to your event. So you can do RaceJoy in multiple different ways. So you could potentially set up a course in a park where people could potentially actually go out and then run this course and use the live GPS tracking. We're also going to be coming out with a great new feature where they can run anywhere and then have their time recorded and submitted via the RunSignup results system. And so the beauty of RaceJoy is that, if I was at home and my wife was out running, I could actually follow her in real time and send her cheers, and you're getting progress alerts every single mile. And you as the administrator can actually see the monitoring dashboard with the progress of athletes. And there's also some really neat things where you can have activations such as your race director or event director could have a cheer, or you could do different sponsor activation points. So it's not just an app for tracking. This audio piece can be an encouragement to the athlete at the halfway point of a 5K or a 10K, or a way for a sponsor to communicate with an athlete. And this is iOS and Android based as well.
Thanks, Brian. The other way to engage participants is obviously through email. If you have your own email marketing system, that's great. You can really easily export all the participants' emails and upload them into your own email marketing system. We also have a tight integration with MailChimp if that's your preferred email marketing platform. But we offer a free email marketing system through RunSignup and GiveSignup. And so if you are looking to save money on email, use our solution. The templates are not the best. RunSignup is not an email marketing first platform, but they are good, and you can actually bring over your own email template source code so that you can have more design capability. But the true power of our email marketing system is it's connected to the database. And so it makes it really, really simple for you to set up some emails throughout your virtual challenge that go out to all of your participants, because those lists are dynamic. And so if somebody registers between when I created the email and when it sends, it's automatically going to include them in that email. So there's a lot of advantages to using our email marketing platform, the number one being that it is free. And it gives you a way that you can promote your hashtag, provide content throughout the challenge, include a soft ask for donations, and most importantly, ask people to bring their friends and recruit them to participate. And then finally, social media. Brian is like the worst person ever at social media because he does not have an online presence. That being said, he's gonna just talk for 30 seconds about influencers.
I may be bad at social media because I don't have one, but I'm good at getting in contact with people. So the Great Race Across Tennessee, if you're not familiar with it, is a race that is put on by Lazarus Lake and Steve Durbin. And so they are the promoters of the Barclays Marathon. And this is considered the hardest race in the world, and it's basically it's a race you're not supposed to finish. And they decided to put on a virtual race, and they've raised over $15,000 and growing for the Food Bank of Central Tennessee. And this race came together because they realized they needed to do something to try to help the community that's always supported them. And it came together in about 48 hours. So make sure you're thinking about people you know or friends that you may know that can get in contact with influencers, and that's Facebook, YouTube, radio hosts, etc., who might be willing and able to help promote your cause, because I think everybody's trying to help find ways to help a nonprofit, but they need to know which ones need help, and you need to reach out to them.
The last two suggestions, really basic. Everyone's probably saying this, but customize your social sharing content. So we'll go through this in a second, but RunSignup, you can customize the images and the text that your participants are sharing when they promote your URL online. And then the second thing is do private and/or public Facebook groups. I highlighted Semper Fi Fund here because they just do such a fantastic job of getting people to engage on Facebook. They have a public community athletes Facebook group, and they did I previously mentioned, they did a fitness challenge, a 19-day fitness challenge. And they were just getting like hundreds and hundreds of people posting their daily updates on this group. And there's such a sense of community, and the people who moderate that Facebook group, who work for Semper Fi Fund, just do a fantastic job of liking and commenting on posts and making people feel really welcome. So private and public Facebook groups, it's kind of obvious, but if you're not doing it, it's a fantastic way to engage people during the virtual event. Right now, everyone's looking for community, so it's free, it's easy. All right, so I'm going to do a last demo checklist. I'm going to walk you through how you can turn on virtual results. I'm going to show you where you can upload your pre-race bib and finisher certificate. And then I'm just going to show you briefly email marketing and social sharing. So I'm going to type in virtual, and it's going to come up with setup virtual race. And I've requested the enhanced features for 2 of my events already, and we're going to go through the 1 mile. So the first thing I have the option to do is to give people the option to receive text messages. This is my dog jog 1 mile road. This is a keyword that you're going to enter for text messaging to be enabled. You can only set this up once, so make sure it's what you want. And then you have registration instructions that people are going to see. I've already gone in and customized this with some language that's specific to my event, but you can add additional content here, encouraging people to, share their results. And then I have the results settings. So for my event, it's going to be happening between the 6th and the 14th of June. And so I'm going to let people enter the results in that time frame. I'm going to create a new result set, and it's going to be the virtual 1 mile. And here is where you can kind of standardize what people can submit. And so I don't think anyone's going to run faster than a 3-minute mile. And I also don't think anyone's going to take more than 2 hours. I'm going to be really generous with this. Here I can check a box to require that each of these results is approved. I'm not really that strict, so I don't really care what people post. But the thing I am going to check is I am going to let people indicate that they completed the run without providing a time, because I don't want to be competitive with this. So here is where I can customize my messages. And depending on what my participants opt in to receive messages by, whether that's text message or email, I'm going to be able to customize what that looks like and when they receive those messages. So this is a text message and an email that's going to go out at the start of my challenge. And I want to make sure that people are awake when they receive it. So I'm going to have it go out at 9 o'clock. And it says day, but I'm going to customize that to week because I have a week-long challenge. And this placeholder here is going to provide the little link that goes to my results page on my website. And I am also going to send one at the end of the challenge. And it's just going to remind people that they can post their results. You can also add additional messages. You can add up to 5 that get sent, but I'm just going to do these 2. And click save, and that's been set up. And because I'm an admin, I'm able to approve it, but your result request will get approved. Basically, what we're looking for is just making sure that you've set it up correctly and that you aren't sending text messages in the middle of the night, because it's not cool. All right, so those are my virtual race messages. And then I'm going to go through Bibs. And that's a pre-race bib. So you can use a template that RunSignup provides, or you can upload your own design. And that's what I was showing in the slides earlier. I created a design in Canva, of course, and I uploaded it, and I'm using it as the pre-race bib for each of my events. And my participants are going to be able to download their bib from their profile, and within a week or 2, we will be coming out with an email feature, so you will be able to email out a link to the pre-race bib to all of your participants. And then the other nice thing that's really good to do is create a finisher certificate. So again, you can use an existing template, or you can upload your own template, and you can create a finisher certificate so that people get a little award on their results page once they have submitted their results. So those are kind of just some nice free bonuses. It doesn't cost any money to do any of these things. The text messages are free, the bibs are free, the certificates are free, but it gives you some extras even if you aren't charging any money for your event. So really quickly, email marketing, you can send out emails to all of your participants. You are able to send emails at a certain date, so you can do the work of creating your email now, but schedule it to send later. We give you a template by default. You can go in here and you can change it, you can update it, but the nice thing is it does have the register and donate buttons here. So you're making that soft ask consistently, and you can use this to send out information about submitting results, or sharing with friends, or if you have fun stories or training plan ideas, you can include that in emails. And the last thing you're going to want to do is customize your social sharing options. So if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, you're going to be able to upload images that show when people share your URL, as long as a custom description. So mine is shortened from the default, which is here, to just join my dog and I at the virtual dog jog. And I've included this image of a cross-eyed dog. And this is just nice because it lets you control what people are sharing. If you are offering swag, I recommend that you have the image be the swag that you are offering for your event. And finally, Just going to show you how this looks from the user's end. So I'm going to sign up. I'm going to do the 5K, even though I like cats. I'm going to understand that it's a virtual race. And this is where I can become a fundraiser or make a donation. If I choose to become a fundraiser, I can fill out my page. I can add my custom fundraiser URL. I can add my own story. I can join or create a team. And then this is where I can sign up for text messages or emails for the virtual event. And if I don't want to receive any notifications, I'll just check I don't want that. And then it asks me to select my time zone. And that's really nice because if you have participants across the country, you can make sure that they are getting the text message at 9 o'clock wherever they live. And this is my checkout cart, not paying anything, so just complete my registration. And I'm registered. So if I go to results, I am going to submit my virtual results. So I, for the purpose of showing you what this looks like for a user to enter the results, extended the period to the 24th of April through June 14th. So I'm going to search for my registration. I don't have to log into RunSignup. I'm just looking it up by typing in my name. And that's my registration. And I click Submit Virtual Results here. And this is where my time is going to be. Brian, what did you run the 5K in?
1956.
Okay, so I ran it in 1955. And I'm going to submit my time, and my results are posted. So if I go back to the results board, well, I will shortly see my results on here.
It's because you can't beat me.
I know, they know. They're trying to.
Only RunSignup can beat me.
Yeah, well, we can check back in a minute, but my results are going to show up shortly onto this page. But this is where your virtual results are going to show. And it just makes it really easy for people to post. I'm pretty sure mine are not posting because it's within my 15-minute registration period. Typically, people are not going to post within seconds of registering. But that is kind of a quick demo of what the registration for a free event looks like and how it works to post your results for your virtual event.
Allison, a bunch of people are going to want to know in terms of follow-up afterwards. What kind of documents are they going to get afterwards in terms of like a follow-up email so they can dig through this further?
Yeah, so either probably this evening, we're going to send up a follow-up email, and you're going to get a link to the recording of this webinar. You're going to get these slides, so you'll have access to this entire slide deck. And I'm also going to include the links to a blog that's going to give you the checklist for each of these sections. So if you're kind of going through and setting up your virtual event, it will show you exactly what to do. And we're also going to include some links to other really important places that you can find information. The most important of which is going to be runsignup.com/govirtual. And this is a repurposed race website for virtual event information. So if you scroll down, you are going to be able to learn how to set up your virtual race with a step-by-step with images tutorial of what you can customize. You're also going to be able to find a lot of detailed information about things like shipping and fulfillment. So all of you are going to be able to come and check out this website. And if you're interested in learning more about how this can work for your nonprofit, you can click the request a demo link, and you can fill out to get a demo of virtual race tools from one of our sales reps or account managers, and they'll be able to talk through how this could work for your event if you have additional questions. That being said, it's really easy and it's free to get started on your own. So you can just click create a race or get started free, and you can set up your own virtual event this evening, actually, if you want. Okay,
Yeah, so going
so
through some of the questions, one question that's a really good one is someone is like indicating they already have a race set up on RunSignup and they need to edit it. So how would I take my race from, hey, I was intending in, August to put my race on and now I want to go virtual?
Yeah, this is a great question because I actually just did this for my hometown race, the Scott Coffee Run. So we had this race scheduled as a live event. It's an annual tradition in our town. I think this year is like the 33rd year. So it wasn't really an option of not doing it. So this past week, we've actually been working on converting it to a virtual event. So we already had 26 signups. But these are the steps that I took. So the first thing I did was I went into the Race Wizard and I switched my event names to virtual 8K from just an 8K, and I switched my type to a virtual race. And I did this for both 8K and for the 1 mile. And then I went into the registration step and I actually decreased the registration fee by like $5. We're still doing shirts this year, and it's still like a way that this race makes money, but because our costs are so much lower, we wanted to pass on a bit of a discount to our participants. And then I spent a lot of time doing a cover page to rebrand my event. So changing it from this in-person event to a virtual event, just adding a lot of fun design. One of the things that I really liked about this was we kind of customized the shirt to this time in a tasteful way. And we actually added a fun volunteer opportunity for kids to draw chalk drawings to encourage the runners throughout the week of the virtual race. And I also included a lot of information on how people can submit their results. So the cover page was a big thing. And then the other thing that you're just going to want to do is go into email marketing. For us, we only had 26 people registered. So the best way to handle it was just sending out an email to the people who already registered to let them know that they've been moved into the virtual event. We provided them with an email that they could contact if they had any questions. So if they need to request a refund, they can reach out to the race. The other really popular tool we have on RunSignup is to set up postponement options. So you can go to race, postpone, and cancel options and set up that option. And you can click this race was changed to a virtual race. And you can let people know about your race, explain why it's been changed to a virtual race. So I'm going to go into the Bellin Run has this set up. So they had already had a bunch of registrations come in and they had to switch to a virtual event. This is using the postponement tool that I just showed you in the dashboard. And they've given people options because they've already had a lot more people register. So it wasn't just a small handful. And this gives people a really simple way to request to either get a refund, donate their registration fee, and you're able to customize what these options are. So you don't have to offer a refund, but if you want to, you can. So it's really flexible. But those are kind of the basic steps that I took to convert the Scott Coffee race that we put on every year to a virtual race.
Great. Looking through the other questions here, a couple of people are wondering if we have free, if you have a free event, does RunSignup charge? No, we are not charging a fee if the event is free. So if a person signs up for the event and it's completely free, there's absolutely no processing fee. We're hopeful that some of the participants will register and as are you, and will make a donation. If they make a donation, then there will be a 4% processing fee. But if they sign up for the event and it's completely free, absolutely no charge, no setup fee, no monthly fee, no fee at all.
And for that free event, you will also get a free website, free email marketing, free text messaging. There's no charges. So it's a really nice solution for nonprofits who are looking to save money and also hopefully raise some money right now.
Uh, you want to scroll through the questions too? I sent some people some private messages to answers as well. But the last question I think I want to cover is awards. I've had that question almost in every single call that I've had. Generally speaking, I recommend that virtual races, stay away from awards for finishing time for a variety of reasons. You have to get into validation, you have to, the cost of the awards and things like that. I generally would recommend, especially if you're using an Instagram hashtag strategy, and there's some sort of hook to your event, some sort of creativity that could be used, is to offer a few random awards or voted by awards by your supporters, that whoever has taken your theme and run with it the best, and put a poll up of A, B, or C, and then potentially offering a few awards for creativity.
All right, well, I think we'll wrap it up. But before we do, Bill Van Fossen is on this webinar, and he's the actual race director for Scott Coffee Run. And I have to apologize. This is actually the 36th year of the Scott Coffee Run. So my mistake, but just want to make sure all these people across the country who are on the webinar know that it is the 36th year of the Scott Coffee Run in Moorestown, New Jersey. Okay, well, thank you everyone for attending. If we didn't answer your question now, we'll make sure that somebody follows up with you via email with a response, and we'll send out a recording, a blog, more information, and we're really excited. Our team at RunSignup is excited to help you guys get started with your free virtual events, and we look forward to helping you guys raise money and save money during this really challenging time for us all. So thank you for attending, and look forward to working with you all.
See ya.